One unforgettable night. That was all it took for the beloved York Fair, an annual tradition Dae Jin Swope had cherished for over 3 decades, to transform into a scene from his darkest nightmares. A night that began as a celebration of community spirit and local heritage took a dramatic and shocking turn that would forever alter Swope's perspective of the fair. But what happened on that fateful evening? How could an iconic Ferris wheel, the centerpiece of joy and excitement, turn into a harbinger of dread and despair? Brace yourself as we step into Swope's shoes and revisit the fateful Ferris wheel incident that shook him and his family to their core. Dae Jin Swope was a humble local, well known for his jovial nature and steadfast love for the York Fair. Swope wasn't just an ardent visitor, he was part of the fair's heartbeat, a human manifestation of its vibrant spirit. Each year, like clockwork, he would return with his wife and children to weave new memories into the tapestry of the fair's rich history. Over time, the York Fair had become more than just a tradition for Swope. It had become a symbol of joy and familial bonds. The tantalizing smells of festive food, the shrill screams of exhilaration from the roller coasters, the hum of anticipation, all these etched a beacon of joy and tradition into his heart. Swope reveled in his children's laughter, a cherished soundtrack blended with the carnival's infectious energy. However, one chilling Friday night would forever tarnish Swope's perception of the fair. It was the 16th of September, 2019, at around 8 p.m. The fair had begun on the 6th, and the excitement in the air hadn't wavered for one day. As a man well versed with the pulse of the York Fair, Swope sensed an uneasy undercurrent in the air that evening. Something was off. But what could go wrong? After all, he had been attending these events for years. Was this intuition or just unwarranted nervousness? Little did he know a catastrophe was about to unfurl, and his life, along with many others, would be caught in its destructive wake. The York Fair on that fateful Friday night was brimming with vibrant colors, pulsating with laughter, music, and the electric hum of anticipation. Families, friends, locals, and tourists alike were all drawn to the fair's centerpiece, the giant wheel, a marvel that rose majestically above the rest. Despite the chilling whispers of past accidents circling the crowd, Swope, like many others, remained undeterred. His heart was drawn to the adrenaline rush that fair rides typically incite, a cocktail of fear, excitement, and a nagging urge to conquer the unknown. This is where our story takes a dark turn. A joyous evening morphed into a night of horror. What happened next, you ask? Hold on, as the subsequent events are nothing short of harrowing. The previously festive aura was shattered, replaced by a dread curling in everyone's stomachs, as the blood-curdling symphony of grinding and snapping metal echoed through the fairgrounds. There was something terribly wrong with the Ferris wheel. As the nightmare unfolded, Swope found himself at the epicenter of chaos, his heart pounding relentlessly against his ribs. His sons clung to him, their innocent eyes reflecting the terror that gripped the fair. Can you imagine being a father in that situation? How would you react? Despite every instinct screaming at him to escape, to protect his children from the horrifying scene unfolding, Swope found himself drawn closer to the epicenter of the disaster. Each step felt like walking against a current, the wave of fleeing people pushing against him, their panicked screams and cries adding to the dreadful symphony of that night. And there, at the foot of the giant wheel, lay the grim truth of the accident. The sight was a cruel punch to the gut. A man, eerily still, sprawled on the cold ground, a pool of liquid forming an ominous halo around him. A spilled drink or a cruel testament to the severity of the fall? The mystery of the liquid hung heavily in the air, amplifying the chilling uncertainty that blanketed the fair. Swope, a father first and foremost, fought back the dread creeping into his heart. His only thought was to shield his sons from the trauma unfolding before their eyes. Imagine the heartbreak of a parent desperately trying to preserve their child's innocence amid such a nightmarish scene. His mind raced as he ushered his boys away, the chilling image of the man imprinting on their innocent minds. But as they moved further away from the scene, a shocking revelation. His eldest son had also seen the man, his lifeless figure on the ground. The child's words were a chilling echo of the horrifying scene, a stark reminder of the grim spectacle they had witnessed. In the aftermath of the chaos, a press conference was held. The CEO of York Fair, Brian Blair, addressed the incident, his words doing little to dispel the looming cloud of uncertainty. The cause of the accident? Still unknown.
They have talked to some witnesses, as I understand it, but exactly what they've been told or what they're learning at this point, we simply don't know here at the fair yet.
What were the conditions of the injured guests? No information is available. The fair, once a symbol of joy and tradition, was shrouded in a grim mystery. In a decision that shook the entire community but was well understood, the giant wheel was closed for the remainder of the fair. The brightly lit Ferris wheel stood as a silent, haunted sentinel, a grim reminder of the tragedy that had unfolded. And so, the question remains, how does one move forward from such a tragedy? Under the neon lights of the York Fair, against the backdrop of laughter and enjoyment, a sobering truth lurks. A truth about Dae Attractions, the operator of the ill-fated giant wheel. The same operator with a checkered history of safety violations, past incidents, and legal settlements. State regulators regularly inspect the rides before the carnivals begin, yet accidents still happen with alarming regularity. Dae's statement sheds light on the cause of these accidents. According to their website, nearly 60% of ride-related injuries result from guest behavior, rocking cars, defeating safety restraints, and sitting improperly. But does that absolve the operator of the blame? Or do these tragedies demand a deeper look into the safety measures of amusement park operators? The roller coaster of emotions experienced by Swope and his family didn't stop on the night of the accident. Instead, it led to an unexpected journey, one of understanding trauma and its impacts. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had to explain something as tragic as this to a child? Swope's words echo through time. I'm still learning myself. I'm trying to let them know it's okay to talk to me about what they saw. An intimate reflection of a father striving to navigate the tumultuous sea of trauma, helping his children understand the vulnerability of life. The haunting memory of the incident nudged the family's perspective on their beloved York Fair. They resolved to continue their tradition of visiting the fair. But what about the thrill of the rides? A bitter reminder of that fateful night on the giant wheel. For them, the fair will now be a place for food and games, not the daring spin of a Ferris wheel. But we might just go for the food and games from now on, says Swope. Their hearts, however, remain with the injured man, the man whose life took a tragic turn on what should have been a joyful evening. We really hope that guy is okay, Swope says, voicing his heartfelt wish. Isn't it a reminder of how closely we are all interconnected in joy and sorrow? This incident, while a solitary one, sends ripples through the reputation of York Fair and raises questions about ride safety in general. The oldest fair, cherished for its traditions, is now marred by the memory of a tragic incident. The Ferris wheel stands tall but remains silent, its joyous spin replaced by a stillness that reverberates with the echo of that night. As we traverse through this riveting journey, we can't help but scrutinize the safety of our beloved fair rides. Are they as secure as we'd like to believe? Or are they just spinning wheels of uncertainty, with potential danger lurking in their shadows? As we grapple with these unsettling questions, we're reminded of the fragile balance between thrill and safety, tradition and change. A balance once tipped can lead to irreversible consequences, changing lives forever. How would you deal with such a tragedy? How do you strike a balance between preserving cherished traditions and ensuring the safety of your loved ones? Swope's story is a harsh reminder that life can change instantly, throwing us into situations we're seldom prepared for. It's a lesson in resilience, a testament to the strength of the human spirit. And through it all, the York Fair continues its age-old tradition, albeit with a haunting memory that serves as a grim reminder of the fragile nature of life.